Hello friends, this video on correct usage of adverbs part 3 is brought to you by ExamFear.com. No more fear from exam. Now usage of seldom with never ever. Now this is very important. Seldom or never is a correct combo. So you can use seldom or never in a sentence. What is the meaning of seldom? Seldom means rarely. So when you want to say something where you want to mean that rarely or never. For example, when you say Tina seldom or never visits a temple. That means she very rarely visits a temple or she never visits a temple at all. That means she is definitely not a regular visitor to temple. So either she doesn't visit a temple or she visits a temple very, very rarely. So that is what this sentence means. So seldom or never is a correct combination to be used. But if you use seldom or ever, that is incorrect because seldom or ever would means very rarely or always. So these are like they have opposite meaning. So therefore, if this combo is used together, then overall it becomes meaningless. So if you say Tina seldom or ever visits a temple, so that doesn't make any sense because if somebody is always visiting a temple, then there is no point saying that that person is very rarely visiting the temple, right? So they are like opposites to each other. So seldom or ever is meaningless. But if you have to write something with seldom, if ever, then that is correct. That means if ever, if at all ever she goes to a temple, then yes, she does that sometimes. So Tina seldom, if ever, visits a temple. So this is correct. That's because the meaning of this sentence is if ever Tina visits a temple, then she visits it very rarely. So seldom or never is a correct combo. Otherwise, seldom, if ever, is a correct combo. So you see, you need to understand the meaning of each of these words. What do they try to express so that based on what you want to say, you can use the right words. So that's very important because when you are speaking English, it is always a good idea that first you think what you want to express, what you want to say, and then you choose the right set of words to express that. Right? So I think now you got an idea. So whenever you use seldom, if ever, that is generally used to mean very, very rarely. That means if ever she visits a temple, then it is very rarely. So that's what it means. Okay, so that was about seldom with never or ever. Usage of course. So of course again is an adverb which is very commonly used in sentences, but it is important that we know where exactly do we use of course. So of course is normally used for obvious things. Now what do we mean by obvious things? Things which are already known to everybody. So things which are already known to the speaker as well as to the listener. And it is not used for surprising things. So for something, if you do not know it beforehand, then you should not use of course. Let us take an example. Delhi is of course very cold during winters. So now here this is correct because Delhi is very cold during winters. This is a fact which is known to everyone. Everybody knows that. So we can say that Delhi is of course very cold during winters. Besides that, of course is also used to give permission. So we use it to give permission. For example, let's say that if somebody asks you, can I borrow your book for a while? So that person is basically seeking permission. So the person is asking for your permission so that he can borrow your book or not. So you can say, of course you can, because you are giving permission. Right? So when you are giving permission to someone, there you can use of course. However, to answer a question for which the answer is not already known, there you should not use of course. For example, somebody asked you, did you visit the market today? Now, the person who is asking you this question, it is very obvious that the person doesn't know whether you visited the market or not. And that is why he is asking. Correct? So in this case, you should not use of course I did. So that is incorrect because this is something which is not known to the speaker. So the person who asked you the question, let's say that person A asked you the question and you are answering it. So when person A is asking you this question, that means that A doesn't know your answer. And of course is always used for obvious things which are known to everyone. But in this case, the answer is not known to A. So what should your answer be? You should say, certainly, I did. Or, yes, I did. So did you visit the market today? Yes, I did. Or, certainly, I did. So in this fashion, you should remember these three things. That of course is always used with obvious things which are already known to everybody. It is not used for surprising things, of course. It is used to give permission, and it is not used while answering a question when the answer is not already known by the listener. Now let us imagine another situation. Let us say that your mother knows that you visit the market every day. Right? So this is something which is already known to your mother. And then your mother suddenly asks you one day, did you visit the market today? So there you can say, of course I did, because you visit market, that fact is already known to your mother. Right? So in that case, you may reply her that of course I did. But if somebody in general who doesn't know whether you visit market every day or not comes and asks you, did you visit the market today? There you should not use of course I did. You should say yes I did or certainly I did. So I hope I have been able to clarify where to use of course and where not to use of course. Okay, so I think then gradually with some exercises, with some practice, you will get a good idea about it.
Thank you. Please visit ExamFear.com for free quality education. You can learn with a simple 4-step learning process wherein you can watch video lessons, you can ask your questions, you can refer notes, and you can take a free online test. We have content for class 6 to 12 on physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology along with practical videos. So please subscribe to our channel for daily updates. Thank you.